Here we go with another session. When I first started this YouTube channel, I said I wasn't going to do a lot of teaching, but I said I'd do some basics. And so I'm going to get into some basics today. And I've done a lot of work with pentatonic scales, the most popular scales that they are. And I'm not going to get deep into theory. That's what my private lessons are about. But I'm going to show you kind of on the surface the 5 patterns for pentatonic scales. And I'm going to drop them down to the key of G so you can see the whole fretboard. And most people know this one. I joke that people don't even play guitar know this one. And this is referred to as pattern 1. Hang on, I got no sound here. There we go. It goes like this. Now, whenever you play pattern 1, and that last note that you end up on, that last fret, which in this case I started on 6, and the verbal tab would be 3, 5. I started on 6. I started on 3. Would be 3, 6, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 6. So where I ended in that 6, I'm going to take my index finger and bring it up to the 6th fret of the low E string, and that tells me where the position of pattern 2 is. This is how you link 1 to 2 in any minor key. So here a verbal tab would be 6, 8, and you have to drop down a position to 5, 8, and 5, 8, and then 5, 7, and notice my second finger is going to hit 7. I call that a 2 stretch because it pulls this first finger to the offset 6th fret on the B string for 6, 8, and 6, 8. So when I get to that on pattern 2, instead of going 1, 3, then you'd have to do this, and you'd end up with this kind of awkward finger configuration. And if you want to start it with 2 and 4, you could do that. But as long as you're playing frets 6, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8, 5, 7, with that 2 stretch, and then that pulls that first finger back to the offset 6, 8, 6, 8. We're just going to take those 2 patterns, and I'm going to show you some good exercises that you can do with them. One's really simple. It looks like it's simple, but it's hard on the pick because we're going to be skipping strings. So if I play the E string of pattern 1, and I go to the D, that means I skipped over the A, so I'm going to go back and pick it up, skip over the D and go to the G. Now I skip the D, so I go back and pick it up, play the D and skip to the B string, go back to the G string that I skipped, play that, and skip the B to the E. So it comes out like this. And you notice I'm using my little finger in that 6th fret so I can reach it. Now during a riff, I wouldn't go like, because it's just not enough coordination. I'd use that 3rd finger. But for the exercise, and if you want to put this in a triplet form, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Of course, slower would be 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Same thing on pattern 2. I'm just going to skip a string, come back, pick it up, skip the next string, etc. Now, how many of you caught this? When I went to the G string, right here, I did not do that 2 stretch because I don't need it. It's only if I'm going from the G to the B. And I bet I hear myself repeat this 100 times a day to students. When do you do the 2 stretch and when do you not do it? Well, if you're going to the B string, and let's say you're only going to 1 note, you don't need it. If you're not going to the B string at all, you don't need it. It's when you're playing both notes on the B string. That's where you need it. And that sets up the preceding E string. So here's pattern 2 again by skipping the strings. Now you see the stretch. So triplets, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. All right, going back to pattern 1, this is a little bit easier. We just play octaves. Start on the first note, G, and you play up 6 notes, 2 on each string, so you can play the E, A, and D string only. G to G. Then start on the A string on the C note and play, you can play the A, D, and G string. C to C. Then you start on the D string, which is an F note, and play F to F. And you start on the G string, which is a B flat. So this one is a natural triplet once you get it down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. See if I can get that with any speed. Almost. Need a smaller pick. Need to be warmed up. Now you can play that backwards. So I'm going to move to pattern 2 and do the same thing. Again, a natural triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and reverse it. So you know the fingering is going to vary some. It's not written in stone. Let me move this mic a little closer to me. There we go. So it's just going to depend on, you know, how you're implementing that into a riff. Like I might be going into one pattern. There it is, and then I went. Or I might go. So I didn't just go. That's where people miss the boat. They play scales, and they don't know how to turn the scales into riffs. You know. And the other thing I wanted to get into today are unison bends. And a unison bend is just like if I'm playing the D note on pattern 1 on the B string, and then I go to the G string and play the C note, and I've got my second finger on B and my third finger on C. I'm going to bend this C until it matches this D. And I'm going to do it real slow so you can hear this flutter or oscillation. When it evens out. Now you don't learn this technique overnight, but it's really cool to do like climbs with it. Or just straight climb. Now there I jump down to the G note on the high E string in the 15th fret, and the F up here in 18, and bend it to G. Now the bottom 2 strings, the E and the B, are a little harder because you've got a step in between the fingers. Here you don't have it. They're only taking up three frets. But here you're taking up 4. Really effective. Okay, so that's it for right now. Just again, little tidbits. So we covered pentatonics 1 and 2, and we'll do 3, then we'll do 4 and 5, and we'll get into some more exercises with them. Okay, hope that helps. See you next time.